Hey guys, it's Tom from Everyday Gamers. I'm back with part 2 of my DS collection. If you haven't seen the first part, go back and check that out first. I would recommend that. If not, whatever, watch it in any order you want to. I don't care. But, just to start off the second part of this, I'll show you. I got Legacy of Ease, books 1 and 2. I just picked this up the other day, so I haven't actually even opened this yet. And I've got a couple other games I'm playing right now, so I don't want to jump into this without being able to devote all of my attention to it. So this is just another game by Atlas. I'm a big fan of Atlas games, so naturally I picked this game up. And it does come with, as you can see on the front, music CD included. So just kind of a cool, Atlas is always good with their fan service, the way they, really pay tribute to their gamers, the people who pick up their games. They usually put a lot of effort into it, and especially the packaging. You've got this outer boxing. And I can't really say much about this game, never played it before, so I'll be interested to jump into it. And as always, if you guys want me to do a review or anything like that, I can do that as well. Next game is Mystery Dungeon. As you can see, I have this game sealed still, but it's Mystery Dungeon Sharon of the Wanderer. I have actually played the game because I do have, if you may have heard me talk about it before, the R4DS. And most of the games that I pick up, I do at least try out beforehand on my R4DS. I'll download the ROM. But I only, have games on that card that I do actually own. So this is one game I may keep sealed. I don't know. It's becoming a little bit harder to find. But it's a roguelike. And I would say that it's not going to appeal to a lot of people just because of the fact that the difficulty is very unforgiving. If you I don't know if you're familiar with roguelike games, but you're basically exploring dungeons, and the way it works is if you die, you start from the beginning, you lose everything. So, unforgiving, but a lot of fun if you've got the patience. Next game is Blue Dragon Plus, another game I still have sealed. I haven't played yet, only because I've been in the middle of playing a couple other games. So, I can't say much about it, but it's another game from Ignition. As you can see, it's another one of their games that they've put that outside slip cover on, which I really like the way they do that with their games. Just gives a little bit more appeal. And this has that nice, almost like popping graphic on it. But graphically, the game looks really nice. It does look like it's made a good transition onto the DS, and, over 30 hours of gameplay, so it may be a game that's well worth it. I don't know. I didn't get great reviews, but for $19.99 right now, brand new, you can't really beat that. Another game that anybody who's a DS owner, I think anybody who's a DS owner should have in their collection is The World Ends With You. Incredibly fresh graphics. I mean, not graphics, but gameplay. The graphics are beautiful. And even if you're not an RPG fan, I would say that this is a game you might want to try out. It's just got a unique battle system. And the way they, mix up the bottom screen with the touch controls, and then you can pass the sword back and forth and control what's going on the top screen with the D-pad. Just really unique. And, if you're a fan of, like, the Japanese culture, it does a really good job of kind of giving you that feeling that you're actually in Shibuya. I don't know if I can even pronounce that right, but that you're actually in living in this Japanese city. So, anyways, really a cool game, guys. Pick that up before it becomes a game that you really can't find. And I know originally when it first came out, it was very hard to get. Now they've actually done a reprinting of it, so it's been a little bit harder to find now, and you can pick that up for like $20 or less. Next game is Broken Sword, Shout Out to the Templars. Originally, and this is the director's cut, originally came out on the Game Boy Advance. But it's a point-and-click adventure, so if you're a fan of that type of gameplay, you'll probably like it. I mean, I would say if you're a fan of the Phoenix Wright series, anything like that, I would say check out some video on this, but the graphics and the animation, really well done, and the puzzles are really good. I've only played the first puzzle so far, but from what I played of this game, I do like it a lot. I would highly recommend it. The next game is Chrono Trigger. And I never originally owned Chrono Trigger. I didn't have a Super Nintendo, believe it or not. I do have one now, but you know, good luck trying to find a copy of Chrono Trigger for a decent price. You know, it was nice that Square released this game again. They didn't do anything to change the gameplay up to, you know, too drastically. They added a little bit more content, but graphic-wise, it's still the same. It's not an overhaul of the graphics or anything like that. So, not that it needed one, but you know, really good RPG. I would say, you know, a lot of people claim that this is the best RPG of all time. I don't know. I haven't played enough of this game to give a final verdict, but definitely a game worth picking up, guys, if you like RPGs. The next game, which I'll say this much about it, it's the Darkspire. It just came out, and this is a game I've been playing a lot of lately. I would say, you know, it's hard to see some of the artwork on this, but guys, you're not. I would say maybe 1 out of every 10 DS owners is going to actually enjoy this game. Most people aren't going to like it. I will admit that. This is just the outer casing. It's an Atlas game, so another game they included a music CD with. But the thing about this game is, if you're familiar with like Wizardry or any of the really early dungeon crawling RPGs of the early 80s, this is, you know, a game that pays homage to that. So it's going to be very, very basic RPG, and nothing incredible about it. But just a lot of fun. I mean, if you got patience and you like RPGs and you don't mind something that's very, very basic, I would say that this is maybe a game you might want to check out. But I would say certainly it's going to be a game that most people aren't going to enjoy. I can give a better review of this later when I play a little bit more of it, but I'm just trying to warn you guys, it's not a game you want to just jump out there and go purchase. I would say check it out first. Next game is Monopoly Boggle Yahtzee Battleship, the 4-game fun pack. This is obviously a game that, if you know, it's a little bit more uncommon, a little bit harder to find, but no explanation really needs to be given. If you played the board games, you know what this is all about. Next game is Advance Wars Dual Strike. This is one of the first games I had for the DS, and I've always had it in my collection. Now obviously you can see that this case has taken some damage, and I believe that I bought this used. I can't remember exactly, but I guess either that or, you know, through travels and, you know, moving into my own house, it's gotten beat up. But just, you know, basic RTS game, really good, one of the better DS titles in my opinion, and if you're a fan of RTS games, I would say it's certainly worth picking up. Next game is Zelda Phantom Hourglass, and I actually got this when I bought the Phantom Hourglass, or the Triforce DS. As you can see the boxing for it there. I'm not a huge fan of the Zelda series, aside from the original one on the NES. So for me, I mean, this game, kind of mixed reaction. I like the way that they incorporated the touchscreen into it, and the way you can use the touchscreen. The art style is really good, but I just felt like it was kind of a shallow game. There wasn't a lot of difficulty to it, and I know I'll probably get ripped a little bit for saying that, but it's just not one of the games that I'm, you know, really high on. I think it's a good game, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's, you know, as incredible as a lot of people have said it is. Anyways, I'm going to stop the video here, and we'll finish up on part 3.